Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q3 and 9M FY22 earnings conference call for PTC India Financial Services Limited, hosted by Essential Technologies. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Abhinav Goyal, Vice President, PTC India Financial Services Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, so very good afternoon to all. First we apologize our investor for delaying results, which was due to unprecedented circumstances, which may be aware to you all. So today we are having Dr. Pawan Singh, our MD and CEO, and a team of our senior officers, namely Mr. Vijay Singh Dev, who is Executive Vice President, Head Structural, Mr. Sanjay Rustagi, who is Senior Vice President and Head Finance, Mr. Sitesh Sinha, Senior Vice President and Head Credit, myself, Mr. Shrey Chittal, who is Assistant Vice President and Head Monitoring, Mr. Ankur Bansal, who is heading Business Development, Assistant Vice President, and Shri Mohit Seth, Assistant Vice President from legal team. So now I request our MD and CEO to kindly guide us for the results. Over to you, MD.
So thank you very much, and sorry for the delay, both in terms of the technical glitch which we had, and also the delay in the presentation of the result because of some things beyond control of management and company. It do happen in the life of some organization that sometimes some blips do happen, and probably that becomes a big point for the organization. That is the way we look at it, and at least we are happy today that we are back to you with our December results to start with, and shortly we will be coming with the March results also once this is over. So quickly coming back to the performance of the company for up to December and 9 months. I would like to say that for the quarter which went by, certain highlights I would like to put. One is that the total income was 241 crores, and interest expense was 136 crores, and the company had a net interest income of roughly close to 88.50 crores. We made less profit compared to the preceding quarter, and also comparison to the same quarter in the previous year, and that was not because of anything else, but primarily arising out of because there have been no further slippages, but because of a very conservative provisioning which we did in the current year. And as we go through, me and my team will explain the detail why we did it and what is the potential of that particular. There is one asset where we did a sizable provision. So against impairment on financial instrument, that is provisioning, which we did 17.22 crores in the preceding quarter, we did a provisioning of 83.61. So if I take net of provisioning, and if I have to compare the numbers would have been in fact reflective of the previous quarter preceding quarter which went by, and substantially better than the earlier quarter. So as far as the operational performance is concerned, minus the impairment and provision, we have in this quarter we continue to do well. And if I have to compare with the corresponding quarter on several operating parameters, so my cost of funds came down from 8.39 to 7.54, and spread was of course flat, 2.86, 2.80. So we maintained the spread, and the NIM has gone up from 3.53 to 4.02. And of course, the debt equity ratio is fairly improved. It is 3.36, which gives us additional room for expansion. And we have brought down our, gross NPA from 895 crore to 820 crore in the current quarter. And similarly, net NPA has come down, and comparison to net NPA has come down from 453 crore on the corresponding quarter of the last year to 253 crore. And today our net NPA stands at 2.71. Some of the assets which of course are known to all of us have got resolved in the fourth quarter, especially the NRSS. So that amount should go from my both gross NPA or net NPA. So roughly about 125 crore will go out of my net NPA. That should mean that my net NPA would be almost half of what it is today, because roughly about 200, close to 250 crore is my net NPA. 125 crore is, how much is the realization, Mr. Chris, exactly?
127 crore.
127 crore being the realization. 7.4 crore. So almost 50% of this will go out of the net NPA. And correspondingly, the amount which is shown in the gross NPA, the total outstanding loan, which is about 206 crore, that will go out of my gross NPA. So similar improvement will be seen on the gross NPA. Also, it is very important to note that from this quarter, the quarter which went by, it came somewhere in the middle. So I will start getting the yield income also on this particular loan. We did one loan account we'll deal in detail, which is ILFS, where we made conservative additional provisioning, but that is also on a very advanced stage of resolution, and already final hearing in NCLT has been completed, and ILFS has filed a petition with NCLT. A couple of hearings had happened, and final hearing has happened now for converting it to ample to green. What does it mean? It means that it debt servicing will start for the lenders, for the lender. And also, since they have already close to 1,500 crore lying in the TRS, and recent Government of India measures to scale up, support to power plants. So additional liquidity infusion, PPA support, imported coal pass-through is also being provided. So we are quite hopeful that cash flow from ILFS should start, which is already lying there, and 10% will come to us upfront. Will start happening very shortly, maybe, hopefully this quarter that should happen. So this is where we are, and we are happy to report, at least on the stress asset front, all our efforts which have all this while we have been putting, we have been able to resolve. This will give you to detail of how we have resolved. So they are now almost coming to close. There have been no slippages in recent past, especially none of our accounts in last 4 years have turned into NPA. So that is the plus point which we have got. And we continue to focus on, being a green, sustainable infrastructure finance company. And thermal asset portfolio gradually is coming down on the total loan book. New areas, new forays in green infrastructure, a large pipeline and opportunities. We did first electrical mobility project, which was inaugurated by Prime Minister last year in UP, which we did 350 buses. And a lot of e-mobility, especially two-wheelers, is happening. And the manufacturing, as well as, also on the aggregation, there is a huge credit demand which is coming. Waste to energy, waste management is another area which is coming up in a big way. And e-mobility is going to have a hockey stick kind of growth. And not only the product that, vehicle which we are going to finance to the aggregator, but also, the value chain, the manufacturing support system, all that also has a couple of project pipelines. In fact, today it is as much as my, renewable pipeline, which is my mainstay. I am getting proposals from the e-mobility side. So we are looking forward to a great upside in this area in business, and our board has started operations, and we have a pipeline of over 2,500 crore under sanction at various stages. So this is the overall view and picture which I have given, and I've asked Sanjay to add on to financial figures, which I have already said. He can add on to that, and we will be happy, and my entire team is there from business development, from monitoring, from credit, from legal side, operation side, and we'll be happy to answer any of your queries. And I'll also support my team wherever it's required. So thank you.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. I'm just giving the financial highlight for the quarter ended December 2021. First, I'm just comparing the numbers of Q3 22 versus Q3 21. It means the current quarter versus previous same quarter of the preceding year. The total income for Q3 22 stood at 241.09 as compared to 269.39 crores in Q3 21. Profit before tax for the Q3 22 stood at 9.50 crores and rupees 6.93 crores as compared to 32.90 crores and 20.85 crores respectively. The yield of the earning portfolio stood at 10.34% in Q3 22. The debt equity ratio is at a very comfortable level at 3.36%, and it has improved from 4.09% this same quarter in last financial year. The net interest margin earning portfolio has improved to 4.02% as compared to 3.84%. The spread earning portfolio for Q3 FY22 stood at 2.80 as compared to 2.86. It is almost remained the same. There is a lot of improvement in the cost of borrowing, and it has been reduced to 7.54% as compared to 8.39%. And if we compare the financial number of Q3 to 22 versus Q2, the previous quarter, that is September ended 21, the net interest income stood at 88.56 crores as compared to 89.30 crores. The total income for Q3 stood at profit before tax PBT stood at 9.50 crore as compared to 69.96 crore. Profit before tax is 6.93 crore as compared to 52.47. The cost to income ratio has been improved to 11.23% as compared to 12.16% in the previous quarter. And if we summarize the 9 months ended this financial year versus the last year financial year, the net interest income for 9 months stood at 257.47 crores as compared to 256.44 crores. The total income from 9 months stood at 737.38 crores as compared to 864 crores. The profit before tax for 9 months is 140 odd crores as compared to 123.96 crores. The profit after tax has been improved to 105 crore for 9 months as compared to 79.27 crore. The yield on the earning portfolio stood at 10.62%, and the net interest margin is 3.99% as compared to 3.53%. The business disbursement in the 9 months is stood at 3,508 crores. The portfolio as on 31st December 2021 is 9,836 crores, and capital adequacy ratio is 22.50 crores. These are the financial highlights for the period ended December 21. I'm handing over the mic to MD sir.
Yeah. So I'll ask Mr. Ankur Bansal, who is head of business, to give you a very short snapshot on the business growth and how are we positioned on the business side.
Thank you, sir. As sir has already highlighted, so we have a pipeline upwards of 2,500 crores. In fact, the pipeline approximately would be around 3,500 to 4,000 crore as on date. And we have been focusing on diversified sectors like roads, ports, airport, logistics, manufacturing of electric mobility, water, waste management, ethanol manufacturing, etc. So our focus is both on the conventional infrastructure sectors along with the sunrise and sustainable financing sectors also. Apart from that, like PSI has always been known to be very nimble in its approach. So accordingly, we are focusing on a lot of companies in the sunrise sector, and we are also supporting upcoming companies in sectors like EV, water, and waste management, which need growth capital to grow in future. So, we also believe to be having a first mover advantage in new sectors, so that we are able to make good yields in these sectors, and which also gives us good visibility and a first mover kind of a tag in these upcoming sectors. Apart from that, apart from diversified sectors, we were always focused on diversified products also. So apart from traditional project financing, we also focus a lot on structured funding, bridge loans, short-term working capital loans, and revolving construction finance kind of loans, which gives us visibility in terms of diversification of the products, as well as it also helps us to improve the yield on our portfolio, which MD sir has just highlighted. It is around 4% margin we are earning on our yield portfolio. And then we are also looking at some marquee deals like recently Adani has been given this Ganga Expressway project, which is the longest expressway in India in the state of UP. So we are also evaluating that project, and we are looking for funding in that road stretch. So going forward, like it is highlighted, that our focus would be on diversification in our sectors as well as diversification in our products, which we have been doing in the past. And being a nimble organization, we would support companies in these growth and sunrise sectors, so that as these companies grow, we will have more funding opportunities in these companies. And on EV sector specifically, we have a pipeline of around 900 crores. And in EV sector, apart from funding companies having concession agreements with the state governments, we are funding the entire value chain of EV in terms of supporting companies in manufacturing of electric vehicles, into supporting companies which do leasing of EVs for various FMCG companies, etc. So we are funding the entire value chain of EV sector, and this is giving us a very good visibility on this sector going forward. So that's I'll hand over the mic to MD sir for any addition.
Thank you. So now I request Mr. V.S. Best to give a little bit snapshot on the work he has done on the stress asset resolution. So very short, I'll request him to be as brief as possible so that we have more time for question answers.
Thank you, sir. Though our company was going through issues in the state which was not under our control, but still we were active in the resolution of stress accounts, and we have been fairly successful. As MD has already pointed out, we have already resolved analysis, which will be getting reflected in the Q4 result, where we are out of 206 crores of the principal amount. We have already got 127 crores. The total resolution amount was 134 crores, which is as per the book value. So that has been resolved in Q4. So the positiveness will flow in the Q4 result. Secondly, in the case of NSL, which was in the news in the recent past, we have got a very positive verdict in the favor of PFS. If you could remember that in this resolution process under NCLT was going, and where we have appealed against NCLT decision, and NCLAT also verdict against PFS, and then we have appealed in the Supreme Court. We have gone to the Supreme Court, and after a long time, the Supreme Court, after the last this was discussed in Supreme Court in the month of December 2021, and after 5 months, this Honorable Supreme Court has come out with a landmark decision, which is going to help other lenders also, wherein the PFS stand was positively viewed, and now going forward, PFS would get a seat in the COC. Impact of this decision is that we have got a lot of collateral in this loan account, like check bonds in case of 125 crore, plus promoters guarantee, plus personal guarantee of the promoters. Now we will go all out against this loan account, wherein we will be very aggressive in taking back our loan. So it is a very positive development, and going forward, we assume that this case will get resolved in our favor. The third account, which was where there was some development, was the LSS case, where some which was beyond the control of the group. It was due to the promoter's problem. Otherwise, the plant was operational from 2015 and 16. And in this recent power demand supply, there has been a lot of issues in the power fund. This plant was somewhat on the top mode in the last 3-4 months due to the high cost of imported coal. But after this development, due to the power shortage, the Ministry of Government of India has pitched in, wherein they have taken few decisions in the month of May. That is, all this variable costs have to be passed through, and PFS has also increased around 350 crores under liquidity infusion scheme. Plus, Sanjetco, which was having a long receivable around 2,000 crores, they have also agreed to pay around 75 crores every week till up to 1,500 crores. So, in 5 months, Sanjetco would be liquidating around 1,500 crores. But this is apart from around 1,500 crores, which is lying in the TRA, which is subject to once MPLAC gives a green signal. It gives a decision on the conversion of the category from amber to green. That amount would flow to the entire lender. And since the first unit of this plant has already started working, and it has started supplying power to Sanjetco at a pass-through rate. So these are the developments, and there have been small developments in other accounts also, like in case of Athena Chhattisgarh, where the Vedanta has bid at a cost which is more than the liquidation cost. So we will be getting more than what is there in the book value. So it is again a positive development which will come in the subsequent quarter. And I think in case of stress accounts, as of now we say we are in a very good situation, which was there 3-4 years back, where it was around 2,000 crore more than a stress account. Now it has come down to around 600 and 700 crore, taking into account of NRSS. Thank you, sir. Now back to Dr.
Before we just shift to Q&A, just on the liquidity position, I request Abhinav to just be very brief and give you a snapshot of what is the
Yeah, so very good afternoon. So the company is having ample liquidity in terms of available credit line. It's more than 1,000 crore, and we are maintaining an adequate HQLA more than 600 crore. So, that money is not only sufficient for meeting our immediate disbursement if any, but also to meet any liability, any contingent liability, and any unforeseen liability in near future. Now, as regard to new lines, we are into discussion, although we are insisting for having a yearly financial, but yes, we are in discussion, and they agreed to move it further to certain level. And in between the requisite, formalities, other formalities I need to say, will also be completed. And we are not visualizing any challenge in terms of liquidity as of now for the company. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. And Sitesh, would you like to say something about the credit appraisal and just very short, very briefly?
Yes, for Q3, our sanction and disbursement was has exceeded for last 3 years. You see the number. So we have done the remarkable number in terms of sanction and disbursement. Sanction was standalone in Q3. It was 1,851 crore, and disbursement was also 1,821 crore, which is much more than the what 3 years we have done it. And taking together all these three Q3, our sanction number was 4150 crore, and disbursement, gross disbursement was 3507 crore. All of this, as Ankur Bansal has also explained, and our Dr. Pawan has also explained that most of the exposure in this Q3 and this FY21-22 till Q3 was mainly into renewable, and especially new sector. We have finally, after talking, we have disbursed in that electric vehicle that Mr. Modi has inaugurated in UP. And another road project we have done is 930 crore. And in the sanction side, we have also explored a new sector which is very marquee project in airport sector, which is a Goa International Airport. We have sanctioned it, and very soon it will convert into disbursement also. So that is being developed by GMR. So these are all about what we have done till Q3 sanction.
Yeah. So thank you. So now we'll go ahead with the Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer any of the questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. For the benefit of all participants, are requested to ask 2 questions in one go, and then they may again be placed in the queue for further questions if any. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Anyone who wishes to ask a question, press star and 1 at this time. We take the first question from the line of Harshita Gupta, an investor. Please go ahead.
So what I wanted to check was, is the company looking to diversify into the business segments? Also, when will the company be back to normal business operations?
Yeah. So, I'll just give a brief answer, and then I'll ask Ankur Bansal to give a detailed answer to this. So, we are already back to normal business. So, we are taking credit cases to our board for sanction. We are doing appraisal. We are doing business development. And as far as the pipeline goes, Mr. Ankur Bansal will give you details as to what are the pipelines.
Yes, so, ma'am, we have a pipeline of more than 3,500 crores as on date, and this is into diversified sectors, as already highlighted, into sectors like airports, roads, ports, logistics, renewable energy, water, waste management, electric mobility, and also into upcoming sectors like ethanol manufacturing. So, apart from diversification of, we already have this pipeline in place, so, and we have been doing this diversification since last 2-3 years. Along with that, apart from diversification of the sectors, we also have a very nimble approach towards various clients. So we are doing innovative financing structures also, like the regular credit funding, and along with that, we do structured funding at holdco level, the revolving construction finance, which has proven very helpful for fast-growing companies in these sustainable financing sectors. We do bridge funding also, last minute capital funding. So we have been, so apart from the diversification in sectors, we have been providing an entire gamut of services to our various clients. So this basically helps the company to maintain good margins on its portfolio because the structured loans and the innovative financing structures give good yields to the company and also good visibility. Apart from that, we, like as I already told that PSS has always believed in having a first mover advantage in all these sectors. So we are also supporting the upcoming companies which may be small in scale and size as of now in the sunrise sectors like electric vehicles, water waste management, because we see a lot of traction in these sectors. And a lot of investors like SBI, Leaf Fund, SBI Ventures, and Mura, etc. So these are funding these sectors. So these companies have a lot of growth opportunities. So as we go along the entire value chain with these companies, we also plan to have a more funding in these sectors. Yeah. That's from my side.
All right. One more question. So, what is the impact that LFS has on the financial performance of the company, and why was the fraud not reported earlier, and why now?
Yeah, in the Q3 22, we made a provision of 29.50 crore pertaining to ILSS Tamil Nadu.
No, she can't go in a second.
So 29.51 crore provision we have made in this quarter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but your earlier question, I think, still needs to be answered because you said why. So because fraud got declared only in February 14th, so that is how it happened in this quarter. So earlier there was no fraud which was declared. But also let me tell you, though fraud has been declared, but it is an act of the previous promoter or management. Now the promoter has already changed, and the promoter's change of management has been recognized by the RBI also, and the restructuring also has been approved by the RBI. Even the NCLT in principle has approved the restructuring plan. Only some modifications in the restructuring plan have got to be reapproved by the NCLT. So as far as the new management is concerned, this is basically government-backed management who has taken over ILSS, and the restructuring of the same has been approved by the RBI.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to ask a question will press star and 1 at this time. We take the next question from the line of John Matthew, an individual investor. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi. So what was the change in terms and conditions of Patel Dharawa, and how that project is performing, and what is the impact of change in condition on the financials of the company?
As far as the status of the Patel Dhara, that is the road project of NHAI HAM in the Rajasthan. So the company has done the construction about 90%, and they have been recently awarded 3 COD certificates. That means company is now eligible to receive the annuity payment since July 2022 onwards. So as far as there is no change in the financials of the company, the conduct of accounts that in our books of accounts is a standard account, as well as the project has been commissioned as per the timeline given by the NHAI. So there was altogether delay for more than 6 months, mainly on account of COVID-19. So this is the status of account. Number 2, related to the change in the disbursement condition. So what we have analyzed and observed, there is no change in the pre-disbursement condition. The condition allegation of the earlier IDs was that we have shifted the particular requirement from pre-disbursement to other conditions. So that was observed. It has been verified by our legal team, external legal team, and third party also. It is captured in the loan agreement as pre-disbursement condition, and that particular condition was complied before our execution of facility agreement.
Okay. As you mentioned, allegations of IDs. We have gone through all the allegations of IDs, and these all were operational issues. So what was the experience of IDs in banking sector, and what is the actual issue that you issued due to which IDs resigned? If you could highlight on that.
See, issue is already there in public domain, and it's a historical issue now. So it happened in January. And, so it's all in public domain, and some of the points which you highlighted now, and in fact in the previous question, one of the issues were also raised. And we have answered it. And as you rightly said, these are operational issues which have been settled.
So, has the IDs pointed out the issue of corporate governance earlier, any time before their resignation? If yes, then how many times?
No, they have never pointed out. And in fact, in October itself, they have, in August they have said the corporate governance is good in this company. And in October, one of the points raised by them was information flow, and that they have given excellent rating to the company. In fact, in month of November, one of the ID system was coming to an end, also applied for extension, which promoted it.
Okay. I have one last question. There are media news of some KPMG report about appointment of director finance. So what was the report is and that it says, and what was the experience and qualification of Sri Ratnesh selected as director finance?
I think whatever you have read in media is available in media. Must have done its work and put it in the public domain. So as far as we are concerned, since this is confidential, it will be difficult for us to share. But the fact is that Mr. Ratnesh selection, there were smokes around that, and that is why his selection could not take place. And normally we follow a transferring process through open advertisement, and next selection of director will be very shortly through an open transparent process of advertisement with proper determination of NBFC banking background and with proper qualification.
Okay, great. Well, that is all from me. Thank you so much, and wish you the very best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Participant with caller ID 9999305877. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi, good evening everyone. This is Sunil. As I have observed, portfolio of the company is on declining trend, and we understand that the company is not doing any business for quite a few months. If I'm not wrong, maybe from January 2022. Someone just mentioned from the management team that the company has adequate liquidity. So my questions are, two questions are there. Why the company is not doing the business despite adequate liquidity? And second, what are the growth plans for FY23? Thank you.
Yeah. Our September 21, our book size was 9299, close to 9300 crore. In December 21, we have increased our book size to 9800 crore. So there was no declining in the previous quarter. So that's why the Q3 was the incremental. We have done the growth in the Q3. As you rightly said, post Q3, very few business. We have not done business in Q4. So that is the situation we have. Sanction. We have not done any incremental sanction. We have done.
So fourth quarter was something which, because of this special situation which got created, we could not do business. Now we are back to business again, and our board is taking up proposals. So we'll make up for whatever one quarter we have lost. I wish, because the way we were going about it, this would have been because as Mr. Sitesh was telling, on the loan sanction for the 9 months, 21-22, this 2069, we did 4150, and against disbursement 1316, we did 3508. So this is the highest possible growth we could have ever achieved. 100% in sanction and 166% in disbursement. We were in a very different, mode, and so a fourth quarter would have had a similar spectacular kind of a performance, but that was brought to naught. But that is offset by the good work which we have done, quite a bit by the good work which we did in the preceding 3 quarters. Now we are back to business, so we'll make up for this 1 quarter very shortly. maybe in a quarter or two.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Saumil Mehta from Mehta Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, hi, audible.
Yeah. Sir, firstly, could you shed some light on why SEBI has put a bar on appointment of new independent directors without a forensic audit?
Yeah. So it has not put a bar. So I think we should read the language the way it is written, and it says that you can appoint the directors only after the forensic studies completed. And not only that, they have also asked for a report from the holding company, because holding company also is preparing a report on this. And to my information, because the holding company matter, it would not be proper for me to comment on that. But whatever relative information I have, that should also happen quickly. So they have said that you can do it only after these two things are available.
Okay, sure. Okay, so could you tell me if there is an overall impact of this issue of resignation of these independent directors on the financial performance of our company?
We were just mentioning that the way we did 9 months, 1 quarter, we could have done, which could have been us, because last quarter is the best quarter for a finance company, and especially the last quarter is where we do the maximum. So the way we are going ahead, we would have done, it would have been a magnificent year for us. 9 months, of course, was magnificent, but this would have been even more magnificent. But that we lost out. Other than that, yes, we continue to, as I said, we will continue to make up for what part of it got offset by the 9 months performance which we did, and whatever we lost, we will try to make up in maybe in a quarter or two.
Okay. So my next question is based on those lines only. So due to all of these impacts, do the bankers of our company put any bar on our credit lines? Like how many credit lines are available at this point?
Abhinav has very clarified on the liquidity. I again request him to amplify that.
Yeah, so although banker have also taken the cognizance of the situation, and they have asked certain information which we provided. So time and again they are asking, and at times they may require to take some internal approval. But as and when the funds being required by us, they are supporting us and they have released the fund to us. In addition to that, we are having more than 600 crore, which I just mentioned just 15-20 minutes back. More than 600 crore to meet any contingency. So in terms of liquidity, we are quite comfortable, and this 600 crore is in addition to the normal cash inflow which we used to receive on monthly basis. And again, we are having a credit line of more than 1,000 crore which is available. So bankers are quite supportive. They support us as and when required. Although as of now we have repaid back just 3 days back on 27th precisely on May, we have repaid 150 crore to one of the bankers because we are facing excess liquidity. So that way we are quite comfortable. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. And so lastly, I have one more final query. The credit rating agency has put the rating of our company on watch. On what basis are the rating agency taken this position?
Yeah, so this is a kind of unprecedented situation in the corporate world. So we were also not knowing the situation. They are also not knowing the situation. So they have put a rating on watch, so as they will continue to watch the situation and the subsequent development. The good part is that none of our credit rating agency has asked that they are considering adversely our rating and or they are deteriorating it. And they used to ask our liquidity position on maybe every month or two, which we used to provide, and I believe that we are quite comfortable with the situation.
Actually, I'll just add to what Abhinav has said. Just to one is of course the liquidity position is very good, and also like for example the overall business scenario, the stress asset resolution. So as I said that the net NPA is going to come down to a little over 1% in the next year. So my stress asset resolution is. And then he talked about the NSL case where already we have an offer of 90 crores. So with the Supreme Court order in hand, we hope to, do better than what we have got at hand. And we hope that this also should get very quickly. We have already flagged this issue before the new board. And we are quite hopeful that a quick decision on this will be possible and recovery on account of this should be flowing. So then, as far as the operating margins, etc. are concerned, we continue to do well. All those things are taken care of. Nothing adversarial has come from any regulatory body. And, all these things give us quite a bit of optimism and hope. And as I said, that this pipeline is waiting for us. So we are not only going to do business as normal, but we are going to do business better than what we are. And of course, goes without standing that we are, my parent has a 65% back holding, has a very strong backing on us. And the parents has a very strong support from all Maharatna companies of India, and with a strong backing, and backed by counterparty on the backside is also, the government behind that. So all that support is available to us, and so I feel that that's good enough for us to move forward and get over this blip which has happened.
Sure, sir. That's it from my side. I wish you all the best for the coming quarter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Sarvesh Gupta from Maximal Capital. Please go ahead. Mr. Gupta, please go ahead with your question, please.
Yeah. So what is the status of the forensic audit right now? Apart from the stage 3 NPAs, which you give the information about, what is the likely provisions that we may end up making because of the findings of the forensic audit as per your best knowledge as of now?
The forensic auditor has been appointed, and as you are aware, we have already informed the SEBI as well. And they are going to start their work very soon, and we are expecting the report in the month of June.
Okay. So basically only after June 2022 results will we come to know what is the additional provisions, if any, which is required to be paid, given the forensic report.
So as far as we are concerned, in our view, we have taken only due consideration of the available facts.
Sorry, sir, I am not able to hear you. Can you please speak up?
What I'm saying, as a management, what are the available facts are there, we made the provision accordingly. Yeah. We are not expecting something extraordinary provision which will come into the
Plus, to add to what Sanjay said, all these things doesn't happen overnight actually. See, all these things are conquered. It means that, my auditor wanted a comfort from a third party forensic, and that is why we voluntarily agreed to do that. But it doesn't mean that the internal auditors we have a reputed firm of internal auditors and also a reputed firm of statutory auditors. It doesn't mean that they don't they don't look into our accounts and all that. And all these years also the accounts have been seen by them. As I also said, that regulatory bodies also have done their own verification, and we have not heard anything from them. So what CFO is saying that there will be no major impact arising out of it. In any case, if you are talking about the three accounts which we largely talked about, in NSL, we have already told you that there will be a backed by a Supreme Court order, so that Supreme Court order will prevail over everything. Number one. Number two, in case of Patel Bharava, the credit head has already explained that there is no overdue, no issue of, there was no change of terms and conditions, so there is no issue, and it's up and running NHI project based on annuity, so why there will be a provision. So that is what. In case of NSL, in any case, we are going to get money because 100% provision is already done. And the third case is ILFS, where, we have, as a matter of conservation, because see what happened is that in case of ILFS, though it is going to turn from amber to green and that's everything will start, and though all the, Mr. Bist had explained the status of the power project, how it is improved with the thermal crisis going on in the country, how imported coal has been allowed to be passed through, how liquidity infusion has happened. So despite all that, we have made, in fact, we have made whatever most conservative provisioning which was possible, and we have provided for it. So these are the three accounts which they talked about. By and large, these issues have been already addressed. So yes, of course, this has been a little unprecedented decision which has happened, action which has happened. Of course, everybody is trying to play safer than what is more than safer. So, and we are playing by it. We are agreeing to everybody's request for whatever, whatever looking into, whatever book or whatever audit or whatever. We are cooperating with everybody, and we are, and that is why nothing adversarial has come to us so far.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Harshita Gupta from an investor. Please go ahead. Harshita Gupta, please go ahead.
So what I wanted to check is...
Harshita Gupta, request you to please press star and 1 to get back in the queue, please. We have the next question from the line of Harshita Gupta, a retail investor. Please go ahead.
So I wanted to check that we've heard that the management does not have any HR powers. So is that true? If not, then who takes the HR decisions of the company?
Yeah, so those HR powers now have been restored by the board.
Okay. And why is the position of appointment not published publicly to attract the best talents of the industry? Are there directors who have internal connection in the company?
It would be very difficult for me to comment on that. So I would say that, as I said earlier also, we will follow a transparent process and we'll follow open, transparent, well-defined qualifying requirement, well-defined eligibility criteria, giving adequate notice, and we'll do the selection shortly.
Sure, thank you.
Any participant who wish to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. Participants who wish to ask a question may press star and 1. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to Dr. Pawan Singh for closing comments.
So thank you very much that, we met today, and I'm so glad that some questions were very open and frank and candid, and from our side we try to explain that. And also we reiterate that as far as the balance sheet goes, we are in terms of both operating parameters as well as in the quality of asset, we are far better than what we were. And in terms of pipeline and direction of business, also we are far more conscientious now, and that is why all our stress assets which were there, and we have been, my very able team of stress management team has been able to bring it down. And all that has been the legacy issue. It has not been issue of present. At present, we do clean business, we do sustainable business, we do business with the clean governance companies. We do business with the clean promoters, and we continue to do that. And that is reflected in the quality. And good pipeline. Good thing has happened that there's a lot of policy clarity now on infrastructure, which also helps in the quality of loan assets. We'd like to appreciate government and regulators for having, made so much of evolution and so fast and so quickly in last few years. It makes for us much easier to do business or do the lending activity, and especially our, commitment to Prime Minister's commitment to climate change, and we are also committed to make ourselves a green, green infrastructure, sustainable infrastructure finance company. And the kind of pipeline which is now available in this area will continue to grow. And what we showed in 9 months, probably in next 9 months also, we will try to beat that record, and that will be our endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Essential Technologies, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.